Dear students, I know it's a very difficult time for all of us, and now in the theory we are at the verge of the culmination. As you know, we are already in the last module, and that also in the last chapter. In some of the section, the all the 5 modules have already been covered. So now let us start with the experiment part, so that the moment the college reopen, you can quickly finish all the 6 experiment, 1 or 2 classes, and then we can proceed to the examination. So in this process, we are starting with the second cycle experiment, and today we are taking on the photodiode. I am very thankful to Dr. Sasidharar and Dr. Avilasa who have recorded this experiment for you.
So dear students, now I'm explaining the IV characteristics of photodiode. See, before I explain the circuit diagram, you should know how a photodiode look like. Look at this. You can see a longer lead here. This is a P side, and the shorter lead is N side, right? So what you can see here is a junction, right? So when the light falls on the junction, what will happen? Charge carriers are created, right? So this contains a optical filter as well as a lens, right? So through that filter, as the light pass and falls on the junction, you get current through the diode, right? Okay, now so for working to understand the IV characteristics of photodiode, one must know about the circuit diagram. Now you can see here, now you just see this. This is the circuit diagram to understand photodiode characteristics. You can see here, for working you require a battery, resistor, micrometer, photodiode. Across a photodiode there is a voltmeter, right? So you can notice here, P side of the diode is connected to minus and N side is connected to plus. So PN junction is under reverse bias, right? So this is the symbol of photodiode. You can see here. So as light hits the junction, you get more number of minor charge carriers. As a result, you get current. Now you see here. Now from where you are getting light? You are getting light from the LED. You can see your LED here, right? So for working of LED, you need plus 5 volt battery. Now you see here, you can see a transistor and 2 resistors here. You can see a part here. As you vary the part, so current through this emitter change. Hence, the current through LED also change. So one can control the current through LED by varying this knob, right? So this is a transistor driven circuit. So by using this transistor driven circuit, one can vary the intensity of light. Okay, now let me explain the now I have explained the circuit diagram. Now we shall connect, right? Okay, now you can see here. So you can see a photodiode here, right? Photodiode. This is a P side, this is N side. Just opposite to photodiode, you can see LED, light emitting diode. Between photodiode and LED, gap is around 10 centimeter. So LED converts electrical energy into light energy, whereas photodiode converts light energy to electrical energy, right? Now, to vary the intensity of LED, you can see a part here, right? So by varying this part, one can vary the power across LED from 10 to 50. You can see a knob here, right? So it's calibrated. So one can vary the power across LED by varying this knob, right? So let me adjust it to 10 milliwatt, right? 10 milliwatt. Okay. So now to avoid the other light falling on the diode, let me cover both LED as well as photodiode. Now you can see this is a P side, this is N side. Okay, now so after you identify the terminal, now let me connect the photodiode. Look at this. This is P side. P side, you just see the symbol. As per the symbol, you connect, right? P side here and N side at the top, right? So after connecting photodiode, so you please connect the ammeter. See the polarity, plus to plus, you can see here, and then from here to minus of micrometer, right? So with this micrometer, I can measure current up to 2000 microamps, right? Okay, then next connect a voltmeter. Look at this. See this from here, from this end to minus of voltmeter, and from the other end, see here, from here you connect to plus a voltmeter, right? Now for working you need a battery, no? So let me start. You can see inbuilt battery here, right? So let me connect. Okay, now see here, connect the battery into the circuit. Just short these 2 points so that battery comes inside the circuit. Now we have connected battery here, resistor, ammeter, voltmeter and photodiode, right? Okay, now next what we do, look at this. Now what we do here, we'll keep a voltage across photodiode, right? This is the voltage across photodiode, this is current through photodiode. What I do, I'll keep a voltage across photodiode constant, right? So then what I do, I'll vary the power across LED here. So I'll vary power and I'll record the current, right? So with this table, one can calculate the responsivity. What is responsivity? You can see here, this is power across LED, this is current through photodiode. So change in current through photodiode by the change in the power across the LED gives you the responsivity, right? Now let me adjust, let me adjust VPD is equal to -1 volt. Okay, now look at this. Now let me switch on. You can see here LED is glowing, right? So make it sure LED is glowing now. Just see this. Now after you, okay, now how much power I have set? 10 milliwatt. Then what I do, I'll adjust VPD -1 now. Just see this. So let me adjust VPD, voltage across photodiode, -1. Okay. Okay, now it's very close to -1. Okay, right. So after you adjust -1, right? Now power across LED is how much? 10 milliwatt, right? So what is the current? Around 24 to 25, right? So note on the current. So around 26 microamps is the current. So right. So like this, what you do? Next case, keeping VPD constant. Do not disturb VPD, right? Voltage across photodiode. Keep varying the power, right? 10 to, you can vary from 10 to 50. You can see here, as you vary the power, current is changing, correct now? So current is changing. So what you are supposed to do is, so you have to vary power from 10 to 50, and each time record the current. Okay. Now let me, now you can see here. So at the end of the course, right, what you can understand is, as you vary power from 10 to 50, just see this, current is increasing, correct now? So why current is increasing? Because the resistance across the photodiode keep decreasing. What will happen? Higher the power, more light falls on the junction, more light, more minority charge carriers are created at the junction, more minority, more current, hence the resistance decrease. Then what you do? Plot a graph of power versus current. This is power across LED, this is a current through photodiode. You get a straight line, find the slope. Slope gives you experiment value of responsivity. What is responsivity? It is the ratio of change in current to change in the power, correct now? But what will happen? And in case of LED, at 10 centimeter, the efficiency of LED is around 66%. So to get the exact value of R, one must divide the graphical, whatever you get from graph now, R value, responsivity, by 0.66, you get 22 milliamp per watt. That is, if 1 watt of power falls on the photodiode, so 22 milliamp current is generated. This is the responsivity of photodiode, right? Alright, next we'll move further. Next we shall discuss the IV characteristics of photodiode. Right, I will see here. To understand IV characteristics of photodiode, one must keep power across LED constant, vary voltage across a photodiode, then you measure the current. So there are 3 cases. First case 10 milliwatt, second case 21 milliwatt, third case 50 milliwatt. So 3 different cases. Keep power constant, vary voltage, record current. So now since it is reverse bias, just see this, this is voltage across photodiode, this is current through photodiode. For 10 milliwatt you may get curve like this, 21 milliwatt like this, and 50 milliwatt like this, right? So what will happen? Higher the power, higher the saturation value. You can see here in this region, your photodiode behaves like a constant current source. Now let me let me take few readings keeping power constant. what I do, I'll vary voltage, note down current. Okay, case 1, so I must keep power how much? 10 milli now. Okay, now you see here, I'm keeping power around 10 milliwatt. Okay, now power is 10 milliwatt. Then what I do, I should set voltage around 0 now. Voltage around 0. Now you see here, I rotate this. Okay, now I'm coming, I'm not getting exactly 0. Even it is 0.09, no problem. What you can do, write down 0.07, no problem. For 0.007, you're getting nearly 1 or 0. You can write 0 here, right? Then next what you do, next case, minus 0.1, just it is now, minus 1. Okay, now minus 0.1, let me adjust. Okay, nearly for 0.1, I'm getting around, okay, nearly 6. So I'm getting around 6 here, right? So like this, very, okay. Now you see here, again let me, okay, now you can see at 0.1, I'm getting, okay, 3, then 0.2, 19, 0.3, 26, 0.4, you can see like this. As you vary the voltage, current through the photodiode gradually change, right? Okay, then next look at this. Then like this, one must take the reading. Now at the end of three trials, what you can notice is case 1, 10 milliwatt, yes it is, current gradually increased, here it reaches saturation, correct? Then case number 2, 21 milliwatt, 0 to, you can see what is the saturation, around 180, and 50, here saturation is around 380 something, correct now? So you can see here, when you plot VPD versus IPD, right, what will happen? So case 1, how much you are getting? 80, no? So you are getting saturation around 80. Case 2, you are getting saturation around 180, no? So this is 180, correct now? Case 3, you are getting saturation around 300 something, correct? From the graph, what you understand? As the power increase, the saturation current, right? That is the current generated in the photodiode because of minority charge carriers keep increasing, correct? Okay, then, and one more thing, the efficiency of this given photodiode is around 8%, meaning if 100 photons fall on the photodiode, 8 to 9 electrons are generated, right? Now look at the result part. So at the end of the study, what you can understand is, yes it is. From graph, we are getting 14.79 milliamp per watt as a responsivity. Since the LED efficiency is 66%, if you divide by 66, you get exact value as 22.4. So 22.4 milliamp is per watt is the responsivity of the photodiode, right? And however, the theoretical value is around 350 milliamp, right? So 350 milliamp is the theoretical value. Experimental value is around 22.4 milliamp per watt, right? So, thank you.
Therefore, my dear students, I think you must have understood, and if it is really helpful, we'll proceed for the next experiment also in the coming days. Thank you very much.